We are talking with Scott Kellen from SixCentSports.com, previewing Week 15 in the NFL right here on SBR TV. Although I am calling in remotely from New York City, I'm not in the SBR TV studios at the moment. All right, the last game I want to ask about, Scott, is New England-Denver. New England-Denver. This is kind of like who knows what's going to happen in this game. Denver is a 6.5-point home dog, and the total is 46. My only analysis of this game is that if Denver can control the pace and the game plan of the game, then under 46 is obviously a great bet. But if they can't, and if New England builds a 2-touchdown lead, then the game will probably not be a good bet on the under. But that New England minus 6.5 is a great bet. So maybe you want to do some kind of correlated parlay here or something. I'm maybe tempted to bet the under. Yeah, and if New England gets a big lead and then Denver starts passing, just rip up the ticket. But is there any way you would bet these lines?
I don't think I'd look either way. That way, I'd probably look
okay.
at I'd probably look at Denver or the over. Now the over,
really?
I make the number 51, but those are year-to-date stats. So I still need to go in and look and see what these numbers would be. As we look at this since Tebow started playing, and maybe I'll get a completely different number and come back with you on the underside. And I get where you're going with that, where they're going to control the ball and whatnot. But I think the game has a chance to be competitive. Denver qualifies in a nice rushing situation of mine. I make the number here actually this is year-to-date stats again, so not just the Tebow stats, which I still need to take a look at. But I make the number New England by 2. So I think there's some value on Denver here. Denver won here back in 2009, and I know it's not super relative to what's happening today, but they won as 3-point dogs, 20-17. I had them in that game. They played pretty competitive. That was the year that they started out 5-0 or 6-0 or something like that, and then basically lost everything after that. But Tebow's 7-1, as we all know, as a starter. He's 6-0 since they went to this option type style offense after they were blown out at home by Detroit. So they're in and have been in every single game. So from that standpoint, there's no reason to think New England can blow them out. I know New England's got a good offense, and obviously if they get up by 14, 17 points somehow, some way, that could make it very difficult for Denver. But New England's defense isn't that good. And, as we saw last week, they went on the road and allowed 27 points at Washington. There's no reason to think that Denver can't put up points in this game as well. Tebow's been throwing the ball a little bit better lately. They've got some receivers. Denarius Moore is starting to look, or I should say Thompson is starting to look, is starting to look decent for them and making some big plays for them. I think they might be able to score in this game, and if they can score, I think they're going to stay in this game. New England now, they went through that streak where they were scoring 30-plus points for whatever it was, 12 or 14 games or something. They're back doing that again. They now scored 31 in each of their last 5 games. So there's certainly a threat to keep scoring here. But the Denver defense has played pretty well so far this year, especially since they've gone to this new scheme with Tebow. So, I got to look at this game deeper. But right now, I would look at Denver. Don't have a huge opinion on the total, but might take a look at the over in this thing, just given New England's defense. But I would definitely look at Denver first, plus the points.
Yeah, I mean, New England, the common wisdom is that New England's big weakness is in their secondary. And, of course, everyone talks about, what a terrible passer Tebow is. So do you think that's a non-factor? Do you think that it will factor in some way? And who will get the advantage from it?
Well, I think it depends on how Denver approaches the game and what they can do, obviously. New England's going to try to take away the run and everything they're doing. But I think every team is trying to take away the run from Denver because they know exactly what they're doing here. And to some degree, they teams have succeeded. But Tebow, I hate to say it, but he finds a way to get it done in the fourth quarter. And they continue to build on what they've got in their offense here and find different ways to attack teams with the rush. And if they can do that a little bit, that is going to open up some play action for them. And now if they're going against this weak secondary for New England, I think they got a chance to make some plays. And again, with Decker out there at receiver and Thomas, they've got some guys who got some decent skill at the receiver position. So if they can just have a little bit of success running the ball, and I think McGahee can be successful doing that, that could open up that passing game a little bit. And, a few big pass plays might be all Denver needs to stay in this game. I am slightly worried that, Belichick can develop some offensive schemes to attack this defense and, get out to that 14 or 17-point lead, which will make it very difficult. But short of that, I think Denver's got a chance to stay in this game.
All right. Great analysis. I think it's still going to be a pass for me, but we'll see how it turns out. Thanks so much, Scott Kellen, for all this insight.
Thanks, Peter. Appreciate it.